Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Newton, Iowa, the Iowa Speedway for tonight's Superior Class Auto Racing ARCA Series event. 150 laps around this 7/8 mile D-shaped oval, opened in 2006, thanks to, well, probably Rusty Wallace. Patterned after the Richmond Raceway, just a bit bigger. It's featured the Xfinity Series, the Truck Series, and even IndyCar, but tonight, it's the Superior Class Auto Racing ARCA Series. 150 laps coming up next. Practice just about 3 minutes away from finishing up before we get into qualifying. Late arrival to the race, Cody Harger is actually on top of the board at 23.79 seconds. Followed by David Bradford, Will Hewitt, Colt Ansley, Bobby Hamilton Jr., your top five in the session. All five running good times, only maybe just less than a tenth of a second difference from first to fifth and 0.3 from first to last. Cars pulling off the track here at the end of the session. Drivers meeting likely about to be underway. We're going to take a very short break and be back after this. Welcome back to Iowa Speedway. Again, practice is just now complete. Qualifying session about to get underway here. We've got 10 ARCA Series cars here this evening. Will Hewitt will roll out of pit lane first to start his qualifying attempt. Will out of Mayfield, New York. .33 machine a little loose off turn 4 to come to the green flag. Let's see if it improves here. This qualifying run of 2 laps gets said and done. Nope, slides it off turn 2. The 33 locks it down, stays off the wall. Tough first lap for Will Hewitt. Over to Vincent Short here, the number 015. It's a Short out of Cayuga, Indiana. First lap for Short, 24.090, provisionally on the pole here. He's got another lap to go. Real loose off 2 for the 15 as well. Keeps it off the wall, or does he? Nope, slides it down to the inside, but does not hit anything. Bobby Hamilton Jr. lap 1 is a 24.25. Fifth quick on the board so far. Second lap, a 24.054, puts the 16 on the front row. Ryan Rose takes over the top spot at 23.996. Missed the lap, but just in time to see him check in, and just in time for Cody Harger and Thomas Mcmullen to surpass it. Harger up on the pole. Alan DeFries out on the track. His lap 1, 9th quick, 24.209. Alan DeFries off 4, again, real loose. These initial laps on these fresh tires, so they come in, they really don't tighten up. Second lap for DeFries at 24.12. David Bradford's first lap at 24.087. Second lap for Bradford, it's on the pole, 23.962 seconds for the 46 machine. David Bradford moves that Chevy Impala to the top of the board. Looks like nobody else left to qualify. Maybe Jeff Napier, if he does take a lap, he may just sit this one out, start in the back by design. Shall see. As it sits so far, unofficial results, David Bradford, a 23.96 on the pole position. Cody Harger just about matches it. In fact, in the live timing, it shows an identical lap time. I don't know how much further out you're going to have to go to see any change as far as the calculated time is concerned, but just about identical. Obviously, Bradford must have been just a hair faster. Thomas Mcmullen was 3rd. Brian Rose 4th. Will Hewitt 5th, Cole Ansley 6th, Bobby Hamilton Jr. 7th, Justin Napier, the other Hateful Chicken entry, he's 8th, Vincent Short is 9th, Alan DeFries 10th. And the 11th car on the field will likely be Jeff Napier. I don't see him rolling out at this point. Maybe a minute and a half to go. He might not. We will see. While we have a moment, let's take a moment to mention something. If you guys are out there and you're iRacers yourself and you're more so on the oval side of things, but maybe interested in getting involved with some road racing or just kind of getting better at it or learning the craft, please check us out here at Superior Class Auto Racing, the SCAR Grid Sports Car Championship. We're most of the way through the season. We do have 4 races left. If you'd like to join, just go ahead and send us a message here at Holler Boys Racing TV on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Holler Boys Racing TV. Grid by SimLab. Qualifying about to go official. Got some people already in the stream chat. That's good to see. Looks like Kobe, Don Harger, the Hateful Chicken, Carolyn McMullen, Terry Ansley, Debbie Rose, Terry Craven Ansley. We got everybody. Field getting ready to grid up here. Let's take a look at our starting grid. On the pole, David Bradford, the number 46 with Holler Boys Racing. He will start first. To his outside, Cody Harger, the number 66 with Charger Racing. Row number 2 is Thomas McMullen in the 02 machine. To his outside, the 89, Rack Bar Media, Brian Rose. Row 3, Will Hewitt with Outcast Racing. To his outside, Cole Ansley, also teammate, Outcast Racing. Starting 7th is Bobby Hamilton Jr. Rolling off from the 8th position is Justin Napier with TCV Motorsports and the Hateful Chicken on board. Starting 9th, Vincent Short, also Holler Boys Racing entry, the 15. To his outside, Alan DeFries in the 71 machine. Starting 11th, shotgun on the field this afternoon. Jeff Napier, the number 40. Field sitting on the pit lane, getting ready to roll out. Just about 40 seconds, and we'll begin our first of, I believe, 2 formation laps before we get underway here this evening. We got a lot of viewers here on the Facebook side tonight. Who else we got? We got, I think I said Don Harger. We got the Hateful Chicken. Harry, we talked about Annette Pena. Pena, not sure. I don't see the little tilde there at the end, but close enough. Don Harger, Eddie Rose. Eddie Rose, what's up, Eddie? Linda Hamilton. Got a good crowd tonight for an ARCA race. This is nice. Even Neil Quick is watching. Couldn't make the race tonight. Other obligations for Mr. Quick. Gonna miss you, buddy, but maybe tomorrow or Sunday, next week. First of 2 pace laps complete. Field formed up 2 by 2. Lights are off atop the iRacing pace car. Will be going green this time by. Pace car peels off the banking, waiting on the starter to wave the green flag.
Green flag.
He does. Green flag in the air. Field comes to life. Good start by the 46 and 66 right up front, side by side. They work into turn 1. Cody Harger with the advantage of the outside of turn number 2. Down the backstretch, takes the position away from David Bradford. The 46 tucks in behind. Maybe not. The 66 stays up high. Bradford stays down low, working off turn number 2 to complete lap number 1. The 66 is going to lead it. Ooh, the 02 Thomas Mcmullen a little out of shape off turn number 2. Might have gotten the wall, can't really tell. Don't see the damage yet. Still running in the 3rd spot. Ooh, Thomas Mcmullen, he's in the wall now, into turn number 1. Thomas Mcmullen, the 02, troubles early here, lap 3, scrapes the wall on entry to turn number 1, kind of rides it out to number 2. He's going to fall all the way back to the 10th position. The 02 of Thomas Mcmullen with some early race troubles. Right back at it goes Thomas Mcmullen, though, under the inside of the 71 of Alan DeFries. Doesn't seem to have slowed down Mcmullen at all. Well, back up front, the battle's still hot and heavy with the top 5. You got Harger, Bradford, Ansley, Napier, Rose, your top 5 there. Cody Harger getting around Iowa Speedway like a champ. David Bradford tucked in behind Colt Ansley. The top 6 really all in a nice group here. 6 laps into the event. Colt Ansley maybe making a move for the 2nd spot as the 46 of Bradford slides it up a little bit. All these cars working off turn 4 in through the dog leg, showing that they're still a little loose. Not not sure if these cars are going to tighten up as they wear out the tires. David Bradford, though, changing up his line, seems to be paying off. He's right at the back bumper of the 66 of Parker. Right on board with the 46. David Bradford tries to track down Cody Harger. Cody looking awful strong here. 9.5 laps into the Hawkeye 150. Out the back bumper, looking at Justin Napier. Justin's moved himself up 5 spots, already running third. Ten laps in, field working down the backstretch. Cody Harger, Bradford, Justin Napier, Ansley Rose, your top 5. Tires could be a premium here this evening. We've got 150 laps to work with, but 5 sets of tires to do it with. May seem like a lot, but we're gonna have to wait and see how abrasive this racing surface is. You see some guys you expect to be really quick around here. Thomas Mcmullen, Bobby Hamilton Jr., and a few of those others kind of near the back of the pack. You really wouldn't expect to see them back there, but this could be a strategy play. Serve the tires late, leave yourself with an extra set at the end to give you some options if needed later on in the race. Ooh, Brian Rose scrapes the wall off turn number 2. Don't know how bad. Didn't lose any spots because of it. He's still running top 5. He's got teammate Vincent Short now looking for the position off turn number 4. Maybe he didn't scrape the wall. I swear I heard contact, but there doesn't appear to be damage to the right side of that number 89. Might have gotten away with one. Stream chat populated by the Rose family. We got Eddie, Debbie, and now Jonah. Top 6 all bundled together, but don't look now. Thomas Mcmullen, after contact about 10 laps ago, maybe 13 laps ago, is starting to work his way back through the field, is catching the 6th position of Vincent Short. Thomas started, I believe, in the 4th spot here this evening. Definitely a quick and hot shoe out there tonight. Had some misfortune early on, but he's making up for it now. Lap 17, closing in on our top 6. Brian Rose making a move to the inside of the 86. Cole Ansley across the line. Ansley still has the position to see if Brian can do anything with him into turn 1. Rose can make it to the door of the 86, but off turn 2, Cole Ansley uses that momentum to defend the position. Brian Rose holds on to 5th. Well, Ansley does slip up the track a bit through 3 and 4, though. Gives an opportunity back to the 89 of Brian Rose at the line. Brian Rose will have the 4th position. Doesn't have the 86 clear yet. Into turn 1, though, he does clear the 86 of Cole Ansley. Move Brian Rose up to 4th position. That battling, though, is allowing our leaders, Cody Harder, David Bradford, and Justin Napier, to kind of get away. Top 3 still the 66, the 46, and the 54. 21 laps already down and in the books here at Iowa. See quite a variety of racing lines within our leaders. You see Cody Harder was running a little bit middle, low to middle, maybe 1 and 2 down low clearly, but off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Let's see how they run turn number 3 and 4. It seemed that the 46 was running maybe half a lane up on the 66, and Justin was running a half a lane up on the 46. This time by, it's the opposite. Justin switches up, tries to drop down to the lower line. Watching the battle for the lead, at least, it looks like David Bradford might just be a tick faster. In fact, yeah, last lap for David Bradford, about half a tenth faster than Cody Harder. Both drivers have run an identical fast lap, a 24:28, but the fastest car on the track thus far is the 15 of Vincent Short. His best lap today, 24.09, a full half a tenth faster than the next fastest of Cole Ansley in the 86. Tires just starting to fall off a little bit here. We got some drivers cracking the 25-second mark. High 24s, low 25s. Again, fastest laps are low 24s. So we've given up almost a full second of lap time over the course of a 25-lap run of green flag racing. Neil Quick, Justin's got the chicken pit special moving tonight. I don't think it's the chicken pit, Neil Quick. I think it's the Hateful chicken. Talking about 2 different restaurants here, buddy. They're going to get angry. Cody Harder still out front. Not given an inch, though, is David Bradford. He's only a car length, maybe a half a car length, depending on where on the track you spot it, in behind the 66, and it's been like that pretty much since the drop of the green flag. Still running a little bit faster lap time than the 66, even though he is stuck in behind. Might be able to pull away from Cody if he were able to get out in front. Means that the short run car is up front right now. The long run car, second place, David Bradford, but just can't find a way to make his way around, albeit it is relatively early here in this 150 lap race. Justin Napier real loose off turn 4, slides it through the corner, but saves it, keeps it straight, maintains second or third spot. While second spot, David Bradford already thinking about making a move here off turn number 2. He's at the door of the 66. The drag race down the back straightaway. Cody's going to lead it into 3. David's going to tuck back in, gather it back up, see what he can do in another lap or so. Maybe making moves like that puts heat in the tires. You don't want to do that too much, because then you're just going to lose lap time, lose track position, maybe even the second place to Justin Napier. David Bradford very good at saving tires, especially in these ARCA cars. Neil Quick, the Angry Chicken? I want to know what you're drinking tonight, sir. What is your beverage of choice on this fine evening? Top 3 still unchanged. David Bradford a few laps ago did make a move for the lead, got to the door of the 66. Cody was able to battle back and maintain the position, but here he goes again. David Bradford taking a look into turn number 1. Real tight quarters there between himself and Cody Harder, but off turn 2, the 66 still leads. Working through the field here, the 33 of Will Hewitt had some troubles in qualifying, spun the car off of turn number 2. Running in the 8th position here, still on the lead lap, just kind of turning the laps, waiting for this race to come to him, waiting for that car to come to him. See, the 86 of Cole Ansley was right up front there for a while, has now dropped back to the 7th position, now side by side with Bobby Hamilton Jr. for that position. Bobby's going to clear him off the corner here and take over the 6th spot. Well, Hewitt taking a look, though, taking advantage of the situation. The 33 now dropping below the 86. He's going to take over the 6th position, correction, the 7th position from Cole Ansley. Back up front, David Bradford trying another way around here. Takes the top side on the outside of the 66 into turn number 1. Does David Bradford have enough to make the pass? May have the momentum off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. He's not going to be able to clear the 66 just yet. Works into turn 3. He's got the lead. David Bradford, your new leader. Cody Harger trying to battle back, but nothing doing. 46 is your leader off of turn 4 and across the line. Top 3, Bradford, Harger, and Justin Napier. 4th is Brian Rose. Thomas Mcmullen has worked his way up to the 5th spot. Eddie Rose, don't jinx us. We haven't had a Hateful Chicken instant replay yet. We don't need one yet. We've got good racing up front. Ooh, Justin Napier real sideways once again off turn number 2. Top 3 relatively unchanged since Bradford took over the race lead. David started from pole position, but Cody Harger got by right away, led lap number 1. These are the first laps for David Bradford up front this evening. Just like David was in tight behind before, the 66 is not giving any space to the 46 of David Bradford. Will not let the 46 get away. Car length advantage for David Bradford, and that's about where it's going to stay. Well, we've got this long stretch of green flag. Let's take a moment to go through the field. Of course, David Bradford, your pole sitter, leads currently. Recently got by the 66 of Cody Harger. Cody led from the drop of the green flag. Cody rides in the 2nd spot. Still nice and tight to the back bumper of the 46 of David Bradford. Only a car length and a half to the 2nd spot. Running in the 3rd position, Justin Napier looking real strong in the early going of the Hawkeye 150. Started in the 8th position, worked his way up to 3rd relatively quickly, and has managed to hang on to it very well here. Almost 50 laps, 1/3 of the way into tonight's event. Brian Rose, the number 89, Two Blessings Thrift Store, runs 4th, but about to be passed by the 02 of Thomas Mcmullen. Still running in the top 5, though. A good run for the 89 of Brian Rose. Sliding forward a bit here, Thomas Mcmullen started up near the front here in the 3rd position, managed to hit the wall, I think, lap 3 going into turn 1. You can see by the lack of damage to the right side, all it did was slow him down, didn't seem to hurt the car. He's battled his way back towards the front, currently running in the 4th position. Will Hewitt, the number 33 fiver entry, started the race in this 5th position. Has only lost really 1 spot. Again, running his race, just letting the car come to him as far as the handling is concerned. Maybe his car is going to handle a little bit better for his liking on the older tires, where some guys may prefer the fresh sticker Goodyears. Bobby Hamilton Jr. runs in the 7th spot in the Hateful Chicken Machine. He started 7th, he runs 7th. Again, do not count the 16 out. He's just running his race, letting the laps tick down until it's time to go. No sense in hurting the car at any point until it's really time to go. Alan DeFries, the 71, runs in the 8th position. Familiar number 71 Monster Energy colors. Alan is up 2 spots from where he started. Holt Ansley, the number 86 Rick Motek fiver Chevrolet. He started 6th this evening. He slipped back to the 8th spot, was as high as I believe 3rd. As the tires have gotten older on that machine, Holt has slid back further in the pack. But again, pit stops may change all of that. Running 9th is Jeff Napier. Up 2 spots, did not qualify this evening, so he's up a couple of positions. But Justin Napier and Vincent Short have pit or are pitting. Justin Napier leaving pit road right now. Regular scheduled service on the number 54 Hateful Chicken Machine. Same for Vincent Short. We can only wonder when the leaders are going to make that trip down the pit lane for their scheduled service. It's David Bradford, Cody Harder, Thomas McMullen, now your top 3. Justin Napier pit from that 3rd spot. Not sure if this was early decision making on his part. Again, we're just shy of a 1/3 of the way through this race. Newcomer Scott Brownfield joining us here in the Facebook stream. Scott, thanks for tuning in. Little slip out of the 66 off turn number 2. Got pressure from Vincent Short. Again, Vince now on fresh tires. You can see the delta, as you may refer to it, in the road course side of things, or the speed difference between the 15 and the leaders right now. But Vince Short on fresh tires. These guys got 51 laps on their tires. Vince pitted lap 44. So certainly a speed advantage for the 15 and a grip advantage for the 15 as he works around leader David Bradford. Get a lap back. And very easy to lose a lap here as you pit under green. Everybody's going to have to do it. So at some point, they're all going to cycle through. Vince's hope right now is with the fresh tires. You see, he is much faster. He's hoping that he can get out there, gain an advantage for a little while, being on fresh tires versus the rest of the field that is on old tires. So far, the Short and Napier, Justin, that is, machines are the only 2 to hit pit lane under green so far. Pretty evident. Again, they have 5 sets of tires over the wall tonight. If this runs green to the end, I'm pretty sure they can do this on 2 stops. Not very often you see an ARCA race that goes flag to flag without a caution, but it is certainly possible, especially with the talent that we have here in the Superior Class Auto Racing League. If anybody can get it done, these guys can. They've done it before. Will Jones in the stream on the Facebook side joining us. Where are you, Will? Usually you're out here racing these things. Neil Quick. I don't know if you guys are watching the stream chat, but Neil Quick is one of our newer drivers, at least in the series. He's certainly an experienced iRacer, but he's already got a couple of wins in the league overall between, I think it was ARCA Super Late and Cup, maybe just Super Late and Cup, I forget now, but he's making a comment here. It wouldn't go flag to flag if I was in it. Feels kind of aggressive. Your leaders putting the 40 of Jeff Napier a lap down. Will Jones is watching the football game instead of racing. Lordy, lordy. You do you, Will. Roll Tide. David Bradford extending his lead over the 66 of Harger. It's almost a full second. Lap 58 of 150. How far can the 46 take this before stopping for tires or fuel? It's tough to say. I haven't turned many laps here at Iowa Speedway. Certainly not enough in an ARCA car to make the judgment on how long you can really go on a full set of Goodyears. But if anybody can stretch it, it's going to be the 46. Field pretty well stretched out here again. You're going to start to see it as tires wear out. Usually you see it as guys hit the pit stop under green flag conditions, but as these tires wear out, you can clearly see the difference in the guys that can save tires and the guys that just aren't that great at it. It really does show some separation. Of course, we kind of expected David Bradford. He's very good at saving rubber on these cars. Cody Harger is also pretty good at that game as well. Obviously, he runs in the second spot. Thomas Mcmullen, after he's settled down, he's doing well. Again, Will Hewitt, slowly but surely. We said this early back. He was running in the 8th position. Now he's running 4th. Again, just trucking along, running a safe race, keeping the car underneath him, saving the tires as long as they can go. He's tucked right to the back of the 02 of Thomas Mcmullen, a couple car lengths back of 3rd place. But you see how it stretches out the field. Get a caution, it's going to change everything. It's certainly going to make a difference to the guys that haven't pit yet. The 02, Thomas Mcmullen working around the 40 of Jeff Napier. Jeff is a lap down. Again, Mcmullen, a 3rd place running machine, lead lap. Same for Will Hewitt running 4th. Justin Napier in the 10th position going by on the outside, but Justin is a lap down. Battle for the 3rd spot, though. Will Hewitt trying to take it away from the 02 of Thomas Mcmullen. They work off turn number 2, a drag race down the backstretch into turn number 3. Thomas still battling back on the high side. Again, carrying the momentum through the corner. Helps with that straight line speed on exit. Continues to defend. Clears the 33 once again. And Justin Napier is going to truck right on by these guys with fresher tires in comparison. The 02 and the 33 still on the original set. 65 laps in. Justin Napier pit lap 46. Bobby Hamilton Jr. in 5th, Brian Rose in 6th. Very long green flag run here at Iowa Speedway. Not typically what you'd expect out of this little 7/8 mile speedway. Small enough to act like a short track, but big enough to be quick. Even on these older tires, these guys are running well over 150 miles an hour. Back up front, David Bradford still leading that number 46 Howler Boys Racing TV entry. Full 2-second advantage over second place Cody Harger at this stage in the Hawkeye 150. David Bradford just putting a bigger and bigger gap back to the 66 of Harger. Already 2.3 seconds off turn number 2 here, just a lap and a half later. See how far up in front the 46 of Bradford is as they put lap 72 up on the board. Cody running about 1/10 of a second a lap slower than David Bradford at this stage in the race. We're almost to halfway. Might even be able to make this a one-stop race. Again, when we talked about they had 5 sets of tires over the wall, we're only a couple laps shy of halfway. I would expect to see some of these guys start to hit pit lane here at any moment. It just makes sense. If you can, you know you're going to have to make a stop. If you can get to halfway at a minimum, even if it goes green to the end, you know you're going to make it to the finish on the fuel load. Battle continuing here with Will Hewitt and Thomas Mcmullen. This still for the 3rd position. Riding on board with the 33 of Will Hewitt as he battles with Thomas Mcmullen for the 3rd position here. Just past halfway in the Hawkeye 150. 76 down, 74 to go. Wow, Will Hewitt riding that ultra high line in the 3 and 4. Thought for sure he was going to get a piece of that safer barrier, but he keeps the right side clean. Still on the charge, trying to get around the 0-2 of Thomas Mcmullen here. These two continue to battle. The 86 of Colt Ansley is starting to catch this group. Ken Colt, though, did pit lap 70 about 8 laps ago, so fresh tires for the 86 machine as well. Colt kind of breaking up the battle between those two. Meanwhile, David Bradford hits the pit lane as well as Bobby Hamilton Jr. Thomas Mcmullen takes over the lead. Cody Harger also on pit lane, or has made his pit stop already. Right side's going on the 46 machine. Through around to the left, goes in the air. 4 tires and Sunoco Racing fuel for David Bradford. Waiting for it to fill, waiting for it to fill. Might have a problem with the 46. David Bradford still sitting in pit lane. Not sure if he got a pit road violation, pit speeding. 40-second penalty for speeding on pit lane. This is disaster for the 46. Yep, that's what it was, a 40-second penalty after a 14.4-second stop. Likely speeding on pit road or unsafe entry for David Bradford. Pit as the leader under the green flag, lap 80. Correction, lap 78. Bradford now 2 laps down after getting pit work done. Brian Rose inherited the lead, but now Brian in the pit lane for his pit work. Four tires and fuel for the 89 of Brian Rose as well. He's down and away. No pit penalty on entry. Hopefully he can get out clean here. Brian Rose down and away. 15.17 second pit stop for the 89. Well, Justin Napier has taken over the race lead. Again, Justin pit lap 46. So off cycle from the rest of these guys. Not sure if he's got enough to make it all the way to the finish. It's possible, but again, I'm not really 100%. I know they got full fuel loads. I saw these guys start to peel off the track at about lap 78, so he may still need to stop for one more time, given how early he hit the pit lane. But again, right now, living large with fresh tires, but Cody Harger in the second spot. 30-lap fresher tires on the 66 machine, albeit about 8 seconds in behind the 54 of Justin Napier. David Bradford off turn number 2 in a hurry, trying to earn one of those laps back, and gets by our leader Justin Napier. 46 still last, but now one less lap down to the leader Justin. 54 Hateful Chicken Machine in behind. Cody Harger about 6.5 seconds back. Also Colt Ansley making his way back around the 54. Colt getting a lap back. Got a Clayton Jones joining us in the Facebook stream. Thanks for joining us, Clayton. Brian Rose, after his pit service, he gets by the leader Justin Napier as well. Again, differing strategies here. You've got varying degrees of tire worn race cars out there. Half the field, maybe a third of the field pit in the lap 40, 45-ish. The rest of these guys pit laps 78, 79, 80, 81 in that range. Oh, Justin Napier as the leader scrapes the wall. Middle of 3 and 4, puts it up into the safer barrier, scrapes the right side. Cody Harger catching the 54 in a hurry. The deficit now 3.5 seconds. Justin getting ready to put lap 90 on the board. Alan DeFries taking a peek below the 54 as well. He wants a lap back. Should put Allen back on the lead lap. First car 1 lap down is Jeff Napier. David Bradford definitely wants to get by the 40 machine, become that lucky dog recipient if we get a caution. David Bradford running in the 11th spot, last on the field, 1 lap down. Next position for Bradford is the 10th place machine of Jeff Napier. Jeff is also a lap down, so again, 46 needs to get by the 40 to put himself in that lucky dog spot. If the caution does come out, Bradford would get the wave around the lucky dog, so to speak, and get a lap back. Back up front, Justin Napier still clicking off laps as the leader, but now you see the 66 of Harger coming into the frame. Just under a second and a half back is the 66 Plasmine Technologies machine. Tries to track down that Hateful chicken number 54. Justin Napier in the wall just a bit, trying to defend against the 66 of Cody Harger. Cody down on the low side off turn number 4. At the line, it's going to be Cody Harger by a nose. Still has to make the pass and clear the 54. Looks like he's going to do it in between turns 1 and 2. Back up front, our leader, Cody Harger, the 66. Justin Napier back to P number 2. Thomas Mcmullen about 8 seconds back from that group, running in the 3rd spot with Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 4th position, followed by 5th place Will Hewitt in 33. About a lap and a half shy of the 2/3 mark of the Hawkeye 150. Cody Harger back out front, Justin Napier second, Mcmullen, Hamilton Jr., Hewitt, your top 5. David Bradford now has caught the 40 of Jeff Napier. This will be for position and the lucky dog spot if the 46 can get on by, and then the caution comes out. Give the lucky dog to David Bradford, allow him to get back on the lead lap and in contention for this one. Drag race down the backstretch into turn number 3. David Bradford has the inside position. The 40 goes up high. Move the 46 up to the 10th spot. First car 1 lap down. We've got a David Ansley in the Facebook stream checking in. Thanks for watching, David. Cody Harger now putting a bit of a distance to the 2nd place running machine of Justin Napier. It's 2.3 seconds back to the 54. And Justin on about 30 lap older tires compared to Cody Harger. Similar tires on the 3rd place running machine of Thomas Mcmullen to that of Cody Harger. Thomas pit lap 79, so a little bit fresher for him compared to the 66, but again, a ways back, about 7.5 seconds from 3rd place all the way up to 1st. Lap 103 on the board. We're in the final third of the Hawkeye 150. 47 laps to go. We've been green since the outset this evening. Little wiggle out of the 89. Brian Rose off turn number 2. Again, we're getting near the end of the tire life with these Goodyear Racing Eagles on these ARCA cars. Handling is a premium right now because most guys just don't have it. struggling to get the grip. Wishing they had some new tires to put on. They've got 4 extra sets over the wall still after that first round, but I don't think they're going to need anywhere near that many here. Again, 45 laps to go in the race. They've been green since the drop of that green flag. '86 of Colt Ansley trying to get by the 15 of Vincent Short. This is for the 8th position. Colt takes the low side. He's got the spot. All this happening in front of the leader, Cody Harger. These two trying to stay on the lead lap. Vincent Short's tires are from lap 44, whereas Cody's lap 75. Much faster is the 66 off turn number 4. Gives the spot plenty of room, gives the leader plenty of room. 66 tries to hunt down Colt Ansley and put him a lap down. Justin Napier from second spot. He hits the pit lane again, relatively on time. He pit the first time, I think it was lap 44. Here we are, lap 107. Stretched the tires and fuel a little bit longer this time, so this will be likely his final stop of the evening, unless we get some cautions here that really shake things up. Hateful Chicken number 54 comes to a stop in his pit box. Jackman around to the right side. It goes in the air. 2 tires going on. Sunoco Racing Fuel can number 1 going in. Crew around to the left. Left side's in the air. 4 tires. Second can of gas is going in. Jack is down. Justin Napier down and away. Second and likely final stop of the afternoon here at the Hawkeye 150 for Justin Napier. So barring a caution, Cody Harger, Thomas McMullen, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Will Hewitt, Brian Rose, Alan DeFries, at a minimum, can make it all the way to the end on the last set of tires and the last fuel that they just got here. Near the end of the lap 70s, early 80s here, 75 to 81 was that pit window, it looks like. They can all make it to the end. Caution comes out, they might pit, they might change things up because everybody else behind them may decide, you know what, I want those fresh tires and that better lap time, but if it stays green to the end, those guys are done pitting. Good news for the 66 of Cody Harger if it does go to the end, because he's relatively unchallenged. Second place, Thomas McMullen, 7.5 seconds back. 39 laps to go here from Iowa. Bobby Hamilton Jr. running comfortably in the 3rd spot. Closing in slightly on the 0-2 with Thomas McMullen. Thomas running 2nd. Tire difference between the 16 and the 0-2. Bobby's tires are 1 lap older than the 0-2, but not a whole lot of difference between the 2 sets at this point. Little wiggle out of Thomas McMullen off turn number 2, though. David Bradford now needs to track down the 86 of Colt Ansley. If the caution comes out, Ansley's the first car a lap down. Colt will be the lucky dog recipient. Thomas McMullen running that high side, that ultra high line, right at the cushion, so to speak, for all you dirt trackers out there. 15 of Vincent Short working the low lane to get around these two. Vince on fresher tires. Vince pit lap 106, just about 11 laps to go. His final stop of the evening. Turn 4 through the dogleg. Bobby Jr. to the inside of Thomas Mcmullen. Slides through, avoids sliding into the 0-2. A near miss there. We almost had a caution into turn 1. Bobby manages to stay off the left rear quarter of Thomas Mcmullen, but now he's got company in the form of Will Hewitt. The 33 wants the spot. This is the battle, second, third, and fourth. Mcmullen, Hamilton Jr., and Hewitt. Bobby going down low here once again across the line into turn number 1. This time it sticks. The 16 in the low lane. Thomas Mcmullen up a lane. The 0-2 using that momentum once again to defend down the straightaway. Has the exit speed. Bobby's going to dive it down low once again. Thomas Mcmullen, the ultra high lane through 3 and 4. All while Will Hewitt's watching it unfold. He doesn't know who he's going to pass, but it's going to be somebody before it's all over with. Bobby Jr. loose off turn number 4. The 33 gets around the 16. Now he's hunting the 0-2. Will Hewitt looking awfully strong here in the later stages with 30 laps to go. Right at the back bumper of Thomas Mcmullen into turn number 3. It's half a car length. 33 looking low. Thomas still takes that high side. A lot of momentum up there. It's hard to make it work, but if you can get it to stick, it's worth it down the straightaway. Thomas Mcmullen keeps the second spot. Will Hewitt down into turn 1 side by side with the 0-2. Door to door off turn 2 down the backstretch. The 0-2 does prevail a little bit again. Exit speed for Thomas Mcmullen. 33 might have him here in 3 and 4. Thomas takes the high side again. Great way to defend against the aggression here. The 33 a little wiggle off turn number 4 by Will Hewitt. Unable to clear the 0-2 with Thomas Mcmullen into turns 1 and 2. Once again, they continue to battle. Right on board with Will Hewitt. Still battling. Thomas Mcmullen taking advantage of that momentum with the 33. Might have had him cleared if he just slid across the nose. He might have had it. Thinks better of it because Thomas is not going to lift this late in the race. He continues to fight for that second spot. Side-by-side battle here for position number 2 with 26 laps to go. Justin Napier coming into the picture here. Justin has fresher tires, pit lap 106. He's going to be the fly in the ointment in this battle. Contact made off turn number 2. Thomas just powers by on the outside. Maybe a bit of a mistake off turn 4 by Will Hewitt. Loses some ground. Again, all this while Justin Napier with fresher tires in behind the 0-2 is trying to work his way around. Work his way back towards the front, possibly to unlap himself. He's got a 9-second advantage, Cody Harder does, over Thomas Mcmullen and likely Justin Napier as well. Again, Justin on fresher tires. He may catch the 66, but he is down a lap. Ooh, Justin Napier in the fence. Riding the wall to stay out of the way. Keeps the caution from coming out across the line. The Hateful Chicken number 54 in trouble. 23 laps to go. He's going to have to nurse it home. Couple new names here in the stream. Chris Weinhardt is watching. Uh-oh, did I lose the stream? Uh-oh. Stand by. Checking. Nope, we're still good. Eddie Rose thinks we're going to get a Hateful chicken instant replay. We'll see. Back out front, Cody Harger enjoying a very comfortable lead with 20 laps to go. It's almost 10 seconds back to Thomas Mcmullen and Will Hewitt as they go at it again. Thomas now down low, Will Hewitt up high. This has been a great battle for the second position here in the last 10-15 laps. Looks like Will Hewitt has taken over the second spot, though, using one of the moves out of the book of Thomas Mcmullen. Will Hewitt up to the second spot here with 19 laps to go. Thomas Mcmullen back to third, fourth, Bobby Hamilton Jr., fifth, Brian Rose in the 89. David Bradford coming into the mix here again with 19 laps to go. Bradford still down a lap. Going to have to pass the 86 of Cole Ansley to be in the lucky dog spot. That's why the 86 has still got his foot in it. David Bradford about 4/10 a lap faster than the 86 right now, but there is some distance between the two of them. Not to mention about 4 other cars he's got to get through. $17 laps to go. Will Hewitt still second, Thomas Mcmullen third, Bobby Jr. fourth, Brian Rose fifth. About 4 car lengths between Will Hewitt and Thomas Mcmullen. Clear sailing for the 66 of Cody Harger. Less than 15 laps to go. His closest challenger is Will Hewitt, a full 9 seconds behind. Brian Rose running in the 5th position. About a half lap behind leader Cody Harger at this point in the race. Again, we have been caution free since the drop of the green flag at the start of tonight's event. Clean and green so far here in the Hawkeye 150. It's clicked off in a hurry. Will Hewitt, after getting by the 02 of Thomas Mcmullen, is starting to pull away. Talked about at the halfway point of tonight's race, as these tires start to wear, it starts to stretch out the field ever so slightly. It's very hard to battle when you're running on a rock. Tires just don't want to grip. They feel like you're driving on ice out there. Saw some of these guys just sideways off the corner every lap, and that was even on fresher tires. Justin Napier about to pass the 02 once again. Again, Justin has fresher tires on that number 54 Hateful Chicken Chevrolet, but did get that machine into the fence, say about 20 laps ago, all by himself. Kind of rode the wall to avoid collecting any of their cars. It was a good move on his part to avoid a wreck, keep the caution from coming out, but worked his way back up, trying to get by the 02 again. Again, fresher tires for Justin Napier, albeit being a lap down, but trying to move towards the front. Get all you can get. It is late in the going. See, just up ahead, Justin, is the 46 of David Bradford. That would be a position if he could get by the 46. But again, now Thomas Mcmullen battling on the bottom. David Bradford has moved into the first car a lap down position. I know we've only got 8 laps to go here from Iowa Speedway, but if the caution were to come out, David Bradford now is in the lucky dog spot. If that happens, he can get that wave back around, be back on the lead lap. Of course, I say that and he disappears. Possibly some connection issues for the 46 at David Bradford just as he gets on by. That'll put Colt Ansley back in the lucky dog position. Again, caution comes out. Get that lucky dog back on the lead lap. Everybody gets a fresh set of tires and we go out and try it again and settle this, but that's got to happen first. We're still under green. We've got 6 laps to go. Trying to find a battle for you guys, but everybody is stretched out so thin. Closest battle we got up here is between the leader and a couple lap cars, Vincent Short, Ellen DeFries. Ellen DeFries battling to stay on the lead lap. Does have fresher tires over the 66 of Harger. Three laps to go for the 66 of Cody Harger. Some lap traffic to deal with. Jeff Napier down low, Ellen DeFries up high. Nowhere to go right now for Cody Harger except ride it out. 66 Plasmine Technologies Camry works his way off the corner, sees 2 laps to go. Got plenty of a gap to second place. You could even just ride it out and hang in behind the 71. Doesn't need to pass Ellen DeFries here. He could just kind of let it go. He's got plenty of time. But maybe he'll take a chance here. Look to the inside. Turn number 3 takes the spot from the 71. Cody Harger crosses the line here. White flag, last lap. There will be no caution. Final lap for Cody Harger. He looks off turn number 2 for the final time. Started on the outside front row, took the lead right away. It was only for a few moments or a few laps mid-race that David Bradford took it over. Pit road speeding penalty for Bradford gives the lead back to the 66, and he runs away with it. A dominating performance here at the Hawkeye 150. Your winner is Cody Harger. Cody finishes up his celebration here on the front stretch. We're going to take a short break and be back with our top three. Welcome back to the Iowa Speedway, the Superior Class Auto Racing ARCA Series. Hawkeye 150 is in the books. Our winner, Cody Harger, celebrating down on the front stretch. Let's go to Cody here in just a moment. Get him up here in the broadcast booth. Cody Harger, it's Steve Singer in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, all I got to say is, wow, man. You put that thing on the outside front row with technically the same exact time as the pole sitter, David Bradford, but you didn't waste any time. Put it right to the front here, led lap one, led the majority of the first third of the race, maybe lost it for a little while after David Bradford got by you. But then a pit speeding penalty for Bradford gives it back to you, and then you just put on a dominant performance after that. Tell us what was going through your mind this afternoon as you just kind of destroyed the field here.
Yeah, man, I've had this one circled on the calendar for a little while. I like this track. I knew that if the guys could keep it clean, which here lately a lot of our races are going with no cautions, I knew that tires would come into play, and I felt like I was fast enough on the short run, but good enough on my tires on the long run to make some noise. Now tonight, it definitely looked like the 46 was the one to beat. I mean, I held him off for as long as I could, then let him go to try to learn something, and didn't really learn much. I mean, I hung with him for a little bit, but then once we got 50 laps into the run or so, he started inching off. So definitely feel like if he wouldn't have had the pit road penalty or whatever, this would probably be a little bit different story. I don't know. Maybe I could have made some noise there in the last little bit, but you know what? I've had some of those similar issues this year in numerous races when I felt like I was one of the faster cars there. So as bad as I hate it for him, I'm gonna take this win and celebrate it as I should.
Yeah, a victory at Checkered Flag certainly is some pretty good medicine, no matter where you get it, whether it's super late, ARCA on the Cup side. It helps turn around some bad luck, and you've certainly had a season full of that. So either way, no matter how you can get it, you still look dominant even after the fact. You still had to bring it home. You did a good job at that. Congratulations, Cody, on the victory. Before we let you go, anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, shout out to Plasmine Technology for being on the car and being patient with us this season. Haven't gotten the results on the SCAR side of things that we'd like, but maybe this is a sign of things to come here the second half of this season. Me thank the Hateful Chicken for being a big supporter of SCAR and what we do. And again, always a big shout out to you, Steve, with HBR TV for putting this on for us.
Cody, certainly appreciate it. Good luck tomorrow at New Hampshire. Another small big track or a big small track, not sure how you want to classify it, but certainly gonna be fun to watch tomorrow, 8:45 Scar Cup Series at Loudon, New Hampshire.
For sure, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too, Cody. Was Cody Harger your winner here this evening here at the Hawkeye 150? Next up, we'll go to second place finisher Will Hewitt. This is Will Hewitt, Steve Singer in the broadcast booth. You got a copy.
What up?
Will Hewitt, man, congratulations. A second place finish, well earned. I didn't see it coming early on. You were at the back of the pack, and we kind of thought, well, maybe he's just saving his stuff towards the end. Certainly seemed that way. You brought it home P2. Tell us about your night.
Yeah, I mean, it was really all about just not pushing the car too hard the first 10 laps of a run. I mean, you could see people paid for it for doing that, except for Cody. But, I mean, you could see, I think Thomas was pushing in that second run there. And, it showed he was not nearly as good towards the end.
Certainly a great battle between yourself and Thomas Mcmullen. It was a matter of he had the high line, you had the low line. It wasn't paying off. You took your time, you regrouped, you went back at it, and you switched it up on him. You ran the high line, he ran the low line, and you completed the pass. So it was really entertaining. That was pretty much the battle on the racetrack late in the race. So nice work there. That was fun to watch. Was it fun in the race car, or was it like sweating bullets?
It was stressful, man. I mean, Thomas is one of the hardest people to pass in this entire league. And, I mean, he was pinning me down there. I mean, I was trying so hard not to get into him. It was pretty scary, but it was fun.
Well, nice job, Will. Congratulations. Second spot. Before we let you go, any sponsors you need to thank?
I just want to thank Fiverr.
Fiverr on that number 33 machine. Again, congratulations, Will. Are you running tomorrow in the Cup race in New Hampshire?
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident about that one after the test session last night.
So I was saying to Cody, it's another big, small, or small, big racetrack. I don't know. It's like a short track with an identity crisis, but it should be entertaining to watch. Tune in tomorrow, 8:45.
Thank you.
Will Hewitt, second place finisher here tonight, the Hawkeye 150. Next in the booth is third place finisher Thomas Mcmullen. This is Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Thomas, great finish, top three. And I was saying to Will during his interview, great battle between you guys. Seemed 20 or 30 laps. You guys going back and forth for that second spot. Ultimately, he ended up getting it from you. Walk us through that and tell us about your evening.
Yeah, I just knew that on older tires, I thought the top line was where you needed to be, and I figured as long as he wasn't able to clear me coming off of a corner, that, you know, it was pretty much my spot to lose. And you know, he found a way around me over there in 3 and 4, and wasn't expecting it, but he got me. And yeah, that's just what this racetrack's about. He kind of touched on it in his interview. You know, not pushing the car too hard early on, especially on the run. That second run there after the pit stop, I'll admit I was driving the living hell out of this thing, trying to cut down the real estate in between me and the 66. And you know, Cody was just on rails tonight, though. There's not a guy in this league that's more deserving of this win. You know, he works so hard. He puts on most of these events for us. He's the one behind the scenes working hard, and so I just want to say congrats to him. He definitely deserves it.
Well, certainly a dominating victory here tonight at Iowa. But again, don't sell yourself short. You still had a great run tonight. It was certainly an entertaining battle. I said the same thing to Will as far as you guys were the battle that we were watching towards the end there. That was the entertainment. That was what was going on. It was 9 seconds up to Cody Harger. So that's where we were, and you guys certainly delivered. So well done, sir. Before we let you go, anybody that you need to thank?
Yeah, Splash and Go Graphics, Murder Creek Distillery, Next Generation Fish and Charters, Hollow Brothers Racing TV, Hateful Chicken. It's been a while since I've been up here, so I'm trying to remember everyone. Just the league and everybody that puts on the show every week and gives us a place to race. Thank y'all.
All right, Thomas, good luck tomorrow in New Hampshire.
Have a good one.
Thomas Mcmullen, your third place finisher tonight in the Hawkeye 150 from Iowa Speedway. Really going to wrap it up for us. We'll go over the finishing order here. Obviously, Cody Harger, our winner, the 66 with Charger Racing. Second place was Will Hewitt, the 33 with Outcast Racing. Thomas Mcmullen finishes in the third spot, while Bobby Hamilton Jr. gets the top 5, finishes 4th. Also a top 5 for the 89 of Brian Rose with the number 89 Holler Boys Racing entry. 6 of Alan DeFries. The 71 of Alan DeFries was 6th. 7th was Justin Napier. Justin looked strong for a while as well. Was right up there in the top 3 for the first third of the race. Ran into some troubles later on in the event. Still brings home the 54 Hateful Chicken entry, home 7th. 8th was Colt Ansley with Outcast Racing. Same thing for Colt. Colt was up towards the front for a while and just unable to keep the 86 underneath him as the tires wore out, and that machine just did not suit his driving style later on in the event. Finishing in the 9th spot was Vincent Short, also of Holler Boys Racing, albeit 2 laps down. Jeff Napier in the 40 was 10th, 3 laps down. And David Bradford, just as soon as he gets back to that lucky dog position, I think was about 6 or 8 laps to go. A connection issue for the 46 relegates David Bradford to the 11th position, 9 laps down. So unfortunate for David, but sometimes that's the way it goes when you're dealing with computers and internet issues. It's not always perfect. Either way, we put on a good show here tonight for the ARCA series. Tomorrow, it's the Superior Class Auto Racing NASCAR Cup Series. The Next Gen Series will be at Loudon, New Hampshire for their event. You tune into Holler Boys Racing TV at 8:45 for all the action. We'll get in just at the end of practice, right before qualifying. We'll bring you the qualifying action and, of course, the race tomorrow afternoon from New Hampshire. Other races at Holler Boys Racing TV this week outside the SCAR Series. We've got Tour Modifieds from Gateway on Wednesday at 7:45 Eastern. Truck Series racing from North Wilkesboro on Thursday, also at 7:45. And Saturday, we've got the ARCA Series from Rockingham at 7:45 in the East. Couple of throwback tracks here for these next few races. Of course, we've got Loudon for Cup tomorrow with SCAR, but tune in for these other races. We could certainly use and appreciate your support here at the channel. You guys pop in, at least say hello, give us a follow, a like, a share, anything you can do. It helps the channel, it helps the stream, whether it's YouTube or Facebook. It's facebook.com/Holler Boys Racing TV, or on YouTube, Holler Boys Racing TV. Before we get out, again, I want to thank the Hateful Chicken, of course, for being the primary sponsor for really all these series. They put on the broadcast for us. They help with prizes. They do a lot. They're not just a supplier, so to speak. They're not just helping us with prizes. They are a partner in this. They've got the race on at the bar. If you're in the area in Ashland City, Tennessee, stop in, hang out or carry out. The Hateful Chicken, 164 South Main Street, Suite 300, Ashland City, Tennessee. That's going to do it for me. I'm Steve Singer with Holler Boys Racing TV. We'll see you tomorrow from New Hampshire. Thanks for watching, everybody.